What's up guys, Geisha here, and today I'm finally able to say that I went through every single game in that collection I got a few weeks ago. And yeah, I just wanted to see what I wanted to keep, what I like, what I didn't like, and what's going in the collection versus what's going to get sold or traded for other stuff for the collection. So that's what I'm going to show you in this video, some of the highlights of what I'm going to keep, where I'm going to keep it, how it's going to be displayed, and whatnot. A few hidden gems as well too, so stay tuned and let's check it out. First up, let's check out some Mario games, some first party games for the system that I just didn't have or never got to play before. And so some of the highlights that I'm excited about are Mario Kart, obviously Super Circuit, you can see it here. Just a version of the game I never got to play, but also Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, which I heard really great things about that. I remember seeing it brand new sealed on store shelves and it just being too expensive, and I didn't even have a Game Boy back then, but I do now. Up next are the classic NES series games that were part of this collection, and I'm just very excited to have these. First up, I love how the labels are displayed. They're just simple, convey the title, they're not super flashy, but they're still cool and unique to each game, and I don't know, there's just something very satisfying about them. And also, you know, I have 6 here. There's only been 12 released in the US, and so I may want to look at, you know, getting the full set. It's not that complicated, not that expensive. And I already have also a brand new copy of the Castlevania one, so really cool to have in the collection. Up next are a few of the coolest platforms in the collection, and some of these I've actually been looking for a while, like Blackthorn. But there was also this Pitfall game that I actually never got to play back in the day, so I'm excited to try that one out. And of course, you know, I have to have Contra Advanced, that's a classic. Trying to ramp up my collection of Contra games, but the hidden gems in this part of the collection are these Special Forces games, which are side-scroller platformers similar to Metal Slug, if you will, but you know, it's not just one-hit kill, you have actually a life bar. So I'm gonna have a lot of fun playing those. I know I've already started, and they seem to be really good. They're a port of the PS1 version, so I gotta get that one as well eventually. Up next, we have a slew of Sonic games, and I was excited to make sure that all 3 Sonic Advance games were there. These were the first few games that Sega released for a Nintendo system outside of a Sega system, so back in the early 2000s when they switched away from consoles. But those are cool. I also have the classic Sega Genesis Sonic, as well as a brawler called Sonic Battle, and it's also a fun game. Now, I didn't keep all the Sonic games. There was a Sonic pinball game that I just don't see myself playing really, but having this nice little collection of Sonic games now is really awesome. They're gonna look awesome on the shelf. Speaking of awesome classic sagas, I was lucky enough to find all these Donkey Kong games, you know, 1 through 3 of Donkey Kong Country, as well as King of the Swing, which is a little bit of a hidden gem if you've never heard of it. But also a couple of Ninja Turtle games that are really cool beat 'em ups. You can see there I have both versions of all the Donkey Kong countries, both SNES as well as GBA now. So yeah, I'm excited to add these classics. I know they'll get a lot of play. Probably have my kids introduce them to this awesome sagas with this. It's easy, it's portable. And yeah, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna look awesome on the gaming shelf. I wanted to briefly showcase these 4 Pac-Man games that I'm keeping in the collection. Pac-Man collection, of course, has the classic Pac-Mans, but the others are really cool kind of adventure platformers, if you will. And they were released, you know, especially Pac-Man World 1 and 2, they were released for other systems. I know I have a couple of GameCube ones, but yeah, I think these will be good additions to the collections whenever I get around to play them, and I'm excited to have them. Last but not least, we have kind of a slew of things here. We have the first column, Duke Nukem Advance and Doom, they're first-person shooters, of course. The F-Zero games and Rock and Roll Racing are racing games, and then Space Invaders and Gradius are shooters, right? Space shooters, shoot 'em ups. And these are kind of everything else that I decided to keep in the collection. And they're just really, really cool games. You know, it's really awesome seeing first-person shooters on the system. I really enjoy Doom, you know, have enjoyed it since the 90s. And yeah, the racing games, I haven't actually played the F-Zeros yet. It's one of those games that I never had time, I never owned them back in the day, and so I'm excited to have these pair of games here to try them out. And yeah, looking forward to more space shooting with the Gradius Galaxies. That's a collection of games, it seems, that I know I played back in the day some of these old ones, and you see here in the intro, it kind of walks through the history of all the games and whatnot. So very epic, very cool to have. So let's take a look at where these games are going to go. So underneath my complete in box collection of games, I purchased this Game Boy holder that I think is really nice, and it fits perfectly in these shelves. But as you can see, my loose Game Boy collection is pretty lackluster. And so what I'm going to do is going to be get rid of the Game Boy Color and original Game Boy games and use this just for Game Boy Advance games. So let's go ahead, clean this up, and put the games up on the shelf. So as you can tell, I couldn't fit all the games back on the holder, and so probably a good problem to have, but I'm gonna get another holder and post an update on the channel. But I wanted to still show all the other games that I'm gonna be trying to trade or sell and whatnot. So yeah, stay tuned for more updates. I appreciate you guys watching, and have a great day.